huge, if not entirely unexpected news from McDonald's. Don Thompson had been there for 2 years, and all of that time was basically pretty bad. What happened here?
So, after an amazing run by his predecessor Skinner, a lot of the problems that had been brewing for years finally came to the fore, and sales started declining, and then you had 5 quarters in a row of negative sales in the United States, which is still their biggest market. Essentially what has happened is that they allowed the menu to get too bloated. McDonald's started chasing too many rabbits and trying to get too fancy, and with their McCafe.
Egg whites and McRibs and a pomegranate smoothie at some point.
4 iterations of the quarter pounder. And so what that ended up doing was slowing down service because, cooks in the kitchen were getting in each other's way. So it slowed down service and annoyed the customers. And it also made it difficult for the workers to learn how to make all that food. So what franchisees want the company to do, and they made it clear that they were not happy with Thompson, was they want a simpler menu and for McDonald's to focus on what they traditionally have owned, which is burgers and fries.
But also part of the problem is it was doing all this menu expansion, but they weren't hitting the mark with where the culture is headed, which is sort of healthy, fresher food. They really haven't grasped that, and isn't that also a part of the problem?
Well, I mean, look at how well Chipotle has done.
Exactly,
and
surging.
Panera, and
actually, Chipotle's burritos have more calories than a quarter pounder.
But I mean, that actually embodies one of the problems McDonald's has, is that they have developed a reputation for poor quality that they've never been able to counter, and so it's sort of festered and grew on itself, and then essentially its big middle class customer base evaporated.
And then we have a crowded market, Andrew. I mean, there's this sort of better burger market, is this new kind of upscale category where you've got Umami Burger, Smash Burger, Five Guys,
right.
And of course today, Shake Shack, which is a huge IPO that went out of the gate today. So
right.
How much of a factor is the competition in the market?
It's huge. I mean, we were just talking about how bad, McDonald's food is for you and how bad Chipotle food is for you. If you get a meal at Shake Shack, you can have your whole day's calories in one go. I mean,
that's true. It's not like Shake Shack is healthy.
Yeah, I mean, if you have one of those meals, you're straight into a food coma, no lie. So it's very interesting how this is a perception issue. I remember when Shake Shack started coming up, people went there because, God, the burgers are really good. They really taste good. The fries were perfect. When Shake Shack tried to switch its fries to a more conventional style, everybody revolted.
Huge eruption, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they really just made their name on, we're going to do burgers really right, and you're going to pay for it, and that's what they're riding.
They struck some sort of cult chord, though, because this is a brand that's hugely popular with millennials, which McDonald's has not gotten right, and people line up for this. Danny Meyer started it as a hot dog cart, as an experiment, and it has just exploded. So I guess the question is, can they continue that growth? I mean, that's fine when you're just a few locations, but the plan here is to raise all this money and then go out and expand to 60, 70 locations. Does this risk losing the kind of authenticity that made it so cool?
It kind of does. I mean, with McDonald's on its heels, Shake Shack is in a great position. It's going to keep expanding because people do want, the better burger. But yeah, I mean, if they're on every corner, they'll lose some of the allure.
Well, they're aiming for 450 restaurants eventually in the United States, from
huge.
70. So
okay, 70.
But it's for now though. This week NPD put out hamburger statistics that showed really what's wrong. 9 billion hamburgers were served in 2014 in the United States, and yet McDonald's sales declined. So those burgers are being served somewhere.